Hey guys, this is Frozen2 Fanboy 2004 here, and welcome back to another video. And this time we're talking about Pinocchio 2022, the live action Pinocchio remix. I know that there's been so many Pinocchio adaptations. I mean, there's that Pinocchio A True Story, which I refuse to watch. I'm sorry guys, but I am not watching that. And then there's the upcoming Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, which I think will be probably which could be the best Pinocchio movie since the original Disney Pinocchio from 1940. But this Pinocchio movie we're talking about is the actual live action remake, the most so-called accurate version of Pinocchio. Pinocchio is a 2022 live action remake released on Disney Plus Day, and is directed by Robert Zemeckis, the same guy who did Back to the Future and Forrest Gump, which both movies are masterpieces. He also did the Polar Express, which is great, but not really a masterpiece, not really on the same level as those two. And then he did the Witches. He did the Witches, which I haven't seen yet, but yeah, I'm gonna watch that movie on Halloween. And then Pinocchio, and so yeah, I remember like when I first saw when I first saw Jennifer Pinocchio, I was like, okay, well this looks. Oh, I mean, I can see that they were getting some stuff right, but I wasn't really that excited for it, mainly because like of how the Guillermo del Toro's version looks far superior. Yeah, and I thought this was gonna be like an okay film, like one that's just mediocre, like it was gonna be like a mixed bag or something. Oh, but after seeing Pinocchio for myself, I'm sorry, but this is gonna be a rant. Yeah, yeah, this is gonna be a rant, unfortunately. As for my thoughts on Disney live action remakes, well, I don't hate the live action remakes as much as everyone else does, but um, live action remakes are not that good to me. There's some really great ones like the Jungle Book, Cruella, Peach Dragon, which I think Peach Dragon is very underrated. If you count Mary Poppins Returns as a remake, then I guess it's like one of the better live action remakes. And I'm excited for the Hunchback of Notre Dame remake because if they get things right, if they get the right cast, and the Hercules remake, well, I was originally excited for the Hercules remake because Anthony Joe Russo producing it, but when they announced that Guy Ritchie is directing it, Guy Ritchie, ugh, no, I'm not excited for that anymore. I'm sorry. Like why Guy Ritchie of all people? And then you have the overrated. Yeah, you have some really overrated live action remakes like Aladdin 2019 and but I think Cinderella 2015, the one with Lily James, is the most overrated live action remake for me. Like I do think that film does have that I mean it's a very well made film, and Lily James is a perfect Cinderella, but I think the movie is just so boring. It it, it just felt so boring and lifeless, and yeah, it was okay. But honestly, even the Frozen Fever short is like came before was better in it. And then suddenly and then we have some terrible ones like The Lion King 2019, The Maleficent duology, and especially Mulan 2020. Yeah, there's another one I gave a. Oh yeah, and also the Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland films and the Dumbo remake. Can't forget how awful those were. So yeah, like I thought that the Pinocchio remake would probably fall right in the middle of the live action remake. That was kind of like what I predicted. But after seeing the film, I gotta say, oh my goodness, like it was so bad. I'm sorry, this movie was terrible. Like and it has so much potential, but it absolutely squanders its potential. Like it completely wastes its potential. Like it could be something really good, but what am I kidding? So yeah, anyway, let's talk about it. So let's talk about some positives, because yes, I do have some positives with the film. Firstly, I think the visuals and the production values are nice for the most part. They look really nice. And I think it's well like directed. And one thing, like probably the biggest highlight of the film is that is how they made Pinocchio and Jiminy Cricket actually look like their counterpart selves. They actually do look like Pinocchio and Jimmy from the original, except just with the CGI. But it's still like absolute book for me. They do like look and I think Pinocchio's voice actor does a good job, and I think like there's also like some good performances, even though overall mixed bag. I mean, like the actor who plays Pinocchio, he absolutely sounds like a Pinocchio from the 1940s, and I appreciate that. And there's also Luke Evans is probably the standout for me, even though like well we'll get to his character later, but Luke Evans based on his performance, he was a standout for me, even though he didn't get much screen time. He was awesome in this. Yeah, like I said, the production value was gorgeous. It's beautiful to look at, and there's something else I missed. Oh yeah, and also the songs are pretty good too. Like this, like especially the iconic Pinocchio songs, like "When You Wish Upon a Star," and my favorite Pinocchio string, my favorite Pinocchio song is "No Strings on Me." Like maybe I might be biased because of Eventually of Ultron. Maybe I might be biased thinking that's my favorite Pinocchio song. But yeah, but even like hearing those two songs that we sung, it's like I think they're really well sung. Unfortunately, that's all my positives. Now let's get into all my issues with the film, and it's a long stretch of flaws. Now, yes, this actually got a 28% of Rotten Tomatoes, and I gotta say, they're actually right. The critics are right. This movie is not good. It's just not good at all. Like, I really didn't care for this film. No, I mean, saying I didn't care for this film it's kind of being too generous. I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah, this movie. Yeah, the problem with the movie is that it's so boring. Yeah, this is a straight up boring movie. That's probably the reason why I hate it. Because, I mean, there was no magic. There was nothing. It was so lifeless. Like, I mean, even if it's beautiful to look at, but it has such a lifeless tone to it, and like there's no magic, and it was no entertainment. It was just a snooze with, and it didn't even take itself seriously. Yeah. It still managed to bore me. And yeah, it was just really frustrating to sit through because I didn't want to hate this film, but I just couldn't stand how boring it is, and I really wanted this, and all I did was just wait for this film to end. The story is so messy. I mean, I get that Pinocchio has a lot of things going on, Pinocchio's in a circus once, and then now he's in a theme park, and now he's in weird places, and now he's eaten by a whale. But yeah, but I mean the way that this movie executed those things was just so like all over the place and was messy, and it's pretty much the exact same thing. Like I mean that's pretty obvious for like a problem with Disney remakes. But here's the thing. It's so slow. It absolutely moves like a snail's pace. Like yeah, it moves like a snail's pace. And yeah, that's how boring it is. Yeah, just there's barely anything new. Maybe like so the new character Sophia with like, I always keep forgetting, but yeah. And yeah, this movie wastes a lot of good talent, especially with two good talents, Tom Hanks and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Actually, to be honest, both Tom Hanks and Joseph Gordon-Levitt in this film are like the ones that I was most excited to see about this. But they're both they probably gave like the most wasted their most wasted performances in the film. I thought Tom Hanks would be a good Geppetto, but I was wrong. Turns out he was miscast as the role, and and Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Jimmy Cricket, he like what was that voice? Like what was that? Come on, Joseph Gordon. Come on, Joseph. You were in Inception. Like I forgot character's name. Like I don't have time to try and remember. But come on, Joseph Gordon-Levitt was in Inception. For crying out loud, Inception, one of the greatest movies ever made. Well, even if it's not my top 10 favorite movies of all time, like it's definitely my top 15. But how could Joseph Gordon-Levitt go from that film, like, and so many other great roles, to this? Like, what a waste. And yeah, there's nothing to talk about. So yeah, and yeah, there's nothing else to talk about. So overall, Pinocchio 2022, the remake was such a waste of potential. It could have been some, like, I wanted this film to not be that bad, but turns out it was bad. It was terrible, but it didn't make me angry. It didn't piss me off too much, but it was just so boring and lifeless. And even if whether you're excited for the film or not, you'll still be disappointed with this because th- th- there's great potential here, but sadly it just got squandered. So yeah, like I just you can still watch this film, but just maybe stick to the but better to stick to the Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Now that's gonna be a good Pinocchio movie. Yeah, that's gonna be good Pinocchio. So yeah, I'm gonna get Pinocchio 2022. Well, I wanted to give it either a 3 or 4, but I couldn't decide. But so I'm gonna stay with the middle. I'm gonna give this a 3.5 out of 10. I mean 3.5 out of 10. So that's my review of Pinocchio live action remake. What's your opinion on this film? And stay tuned for my trailer reactions to Glass Onion, Nice Out Mystery, and Black Adam, and Black Adam. So yeah, bye guys.